Ladies and gentlemen, our next debate for tonight, practice, is the best of all instructors. Representing the government as Prime Minister, we have Jack, and representing the opposition as leader of the opposition, we have Margie. Please welcome Jack to start the debate.
Hello everyone, I would like to welcome everyone into this debate. The resolution is that practice is the best of all instructors. Now, to define practice as a term of trying to refine a skill or practice through means of doing it. The best as in the most beneficial and the most positive. And of all instructors as in people who teach a skill or a practice. Now I'm going to start out with the famous phrase that to master something you need 10,000 hours. And obviously you're not going to take 10,000 hours of reading a textbook or looking at someone doing something. To fulfill these 10,000 hours of discipline, what you need is practice, ladies and gentlemen. In order to truly fulfill a skill or to truly get good at a skill, you really need practice. So what I'm trying to say is, I'm not saying that instructors are bad. I'm saying that while instructors provide the bedrock and the foundation for such a skill, it is practice and determination that provides the mortars and the bricks for truly getting good at a certain practice. So I'm going to talk about how learning from our mistakes through practice is a positive thing. From learning through practice, what we're able to do is that we are able to explore into this sort of skill or practice. What we are able to do, ladies and gentlemen, is that we are able to truly go deeper into the skill by ourselves. If we find something is wrong, we should not simply raise our hands and say, I don't understand this, instead of trying to figure it out yourself. So through the means of learning from our mistakes, we are able to, what we're able to do is that we are able to promote self-improvement. From practice, we are able to solve our own problems, and that we are able to be more independent through our skills and through our passions. And that is something that is really, really important. Take this as an example. Debating. You simply can't be a good debater if you are simply listening to someone debate, or you are simply reading up on strategies or techniques. To truly be good at debating, which is a very complex sort of skill, what you need to do is you actually need to practice, and that is why I proudly propose.
Okay, Honored Prime Minister, I feel like I'm batting 0 for 1,000 tonight, but we'll try it again. Practice is the best of all instructors, and I'm going to take issue with some of the ideas here. Practice being refining by doing is the best of instructors, and I'm not sure that that's in fact the case, because refining by doing is generally what wasn't said, but what I think of when I think of practice is repetition. You're refining by doing the same thing over and over and over again. And spontaneously starting to do the same thing over and over and over again generally doesn't get you anywhere that you want to go. There's a famous saying that insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. So the idea that I can just spontaneously go out and start say doing some exercising, and that by doing that exercising and doing it over and over and over again, I'm going to get better at it, is questionable. My technique may be off, it may be incomplete, and if I do it incompletely with off technique, no matter how many times I do it, I'm not actually going to get better, I'm just going to get entrenched. So in terms of, I'm not saying that practice isn't important, and it is. Whether it's the primary instructor, whether it's the best instructor, I would say often somebody who's skilled at teaching whatever it is you're trying to learn is your best instructor. And that practice, doing the wrong thing over and over and over again, can refine your ability to do it wrong, or wrongly, but it doesn't necessarily teach you how to do it correctly. So, although in the 10,000 hours, some of that is practice, I don't know how instructive that practice actually is. Debating being another thing that we can, we could have a hypothetical member of the debating society who isn't here, who has been debating for a long time and is maybe not, you know, the best at it. No, I'm not talking about you. But, you know, just because they've been doing it a long time, I mean, maybe they're hoping to get it right eventually. It doesn't necessarily mean they're well instructed in that case, whereas some of us came spontaneously out of the gate doing really, really well. Is practice that determining factor? I'm not so sure, so I'd say defeat the motion.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, what I'm going to be doing for you today is I'm going to be refuting all of the points that the previous speaker has said. Now, the first point about how practice isn't good for you, because apparently if you're doing it wrong, then you're going to just be refining what you're doing. Then you're just refining your errors, and that's wrong. Because what I'm saying is that I'm not saying that practice is the sole component to being good at a skill. What I'm saying is that practice is something very fundamental and the most important part of getting a skill. Instructors, sure, they are important as well. And through instructors, that's where you are able to learn from your mistakes. But simply the instructor telling you, okay, 1 + 1 does not equal 3, it equals 2. Simply taking that in and not doing anything with it will not really refine your skill. What you should do is that you should take that area of improvement or take that advice from your beloved instructor and really practice with it. So what we can see here is that it's not practice as the only thing. Practice is the most important thing. Although instructors play a very important role as well, practice is the most important. And that is why I support this resolution.
Practice is the best of all instruction. Instructors, who votes in favor of the government? The motion. 10, 12, 14, 15 people. And who votes against the motion? 3. Good job.